In this clip, we're going to continue to take a look at Maya's Visualize tools. All right, so in the last clip, we learned how to use the editable motion trail to be able to get a really good grasp of the arcs and be able to track them, as well as update our animation and have that motion trail update in real time. Now let's take a look at some of the other Visualize tools. So a lot of these are going to be sort of similar tools for tracking arcs, but they all work in a sort of a different way. So again, we're working with our exact same animation of this simple ball bounce. Let's go ahead and select our main control here, and we're going to go up here to Visualize, and let's go ahead and take a look at this Ghost section. So we'll go ahead and choose Ghost Selected, and we want to open up the option box. All right, and let's go ahead and just edit and reset our settings just to make sure that we're both working at the exact same settings here. So up here we have the type of ghosting, and by default it's going to be set to global preferences. So what that means is it's going by the preferences that we have set within our animation preferences. So if we go ahead and open up our animation preferences by selecting this icon down here, and then we go under the animation category, you can see that in the animation category under display, we have the ghosts. So what it means by global preferences is it's ghosting our animation based on the settings that we have in here. So basically what this means is steps before current frame of 3 and steps after current frame of 3. So what this is going to do is display sort of a ghosted image of 3 frames before the current keyframe we're on and 3 frames after the current keyframe we're on. So this is a good way to sort of get a sense of the overall path or motion of your animation. So we'll go ahead and just close that out. And if we go ahead and choose any one of the other options here, we can choose maybe custom frames. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to actually choose the frame that we want to display a ghosted image of our object on. So you can see by default it's set to frame 1, 10, and 20. What that means is that there's going to be a ghosted image of those frames. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So let's just hit apply. And now you can see we have sort of these ghosted representations of where this ball is going to be at frame 1, at frame 10, and at frame 20. So if we scrub through the timeline there, you can see the ball is at frame 1, and then at frame 10 you can see that we've hit that ghosted image, and then all the way to frame 20. So if you want to, with this custom frame, you could go in there and actually specify the exact frame that you want a ghosted image to appear on. Let's go ahead, and we're going to go up here to Visualize now, and we're just going to choose Unghost All, just to get rid of that ghosting we just did. And let's take a look at a couple of the different kinds of ghosting we have available here. So let's go ahead and open up this drop down again, and let's choose Custom Frame Steps. So this is going to be exactly what we had in the animation preferences, so we can ghost this either by 3 frames before and 3 frames after, and we can adjust this as needed. So we can go ahead and hit apply here, and now you can see that as we scrub our animation, it's showing the ghosted image of what is going to happen 3 frames after the current frame we landed on and 3 frames before. So what we get is a good sense of how this ball is going to travel through 3D space, which is a really great way to get an understanding of your animation. And if we want to, let's go to Visualize real quick and Unghost All, just so we can take a look at what happens if we upped this value. So let's go ahead and maybe bring this to something like 8 frames before and 8 frames after, and then hit apply. And let's take a look at what happens here. Now we're seeing more ghosts of this ball, and where is it going to be? So now we see exactly where the ball is going to travel 8 frames ahead of the current frame that we've landed on. So as we scrub this animation, any frame that we land on, for example frame 18, it's going to go 8 frames ahead and 8 frames before. So again, we get a really good idea of the overall path that this ball is taking. And we can go ahead again and Unghost All to get rid of that. And then maybe take a look at the other option here. So we could do something like the custom key steps if we wanted to. as well as keyframes. So we can choose the time slider, or we could choose a start and end time. So we can go ahead and maybe go from frame 1 to frame 121. And what this is going to do is it's going to display a ghosted image on every single keyframe of our animation. So this gives you more of a broader look at how this ball is going to travel through 3D space by simply displaying a ghosted image of every single keyframe. And we get a really nice path of action there. So again, you could see how helpful this can be when you're getting into some more of the sort of polished stages of your animation. These visualize tools are going to come in really handy for you. So now that we've taken a look at the ghost tool inside of Maya, in the next clip, we're going to take a look at another visualize tool. So we'll go ahead and do that in the next clip.